Scene 1. Setting. The living room of a traditional home. We see a sofa and coffee table, as well as a writing desk that faces the audience. Stage left is a doorway to the kitchen, through which we can see a countertop and a wall-mounted phone. At Rise, Mother stands in the doorway to the kitchen, talking on the telephone, while trying to keep an eye on dinner.
Yes, of course, Mother. I understand. That must be... Sorry? I said yes. Yes, ma'am. I am listening, Mother. I was just agreeing with you. I apologize. I know that my good manners are a reflection on you. What? Of course not, Mother. I am not mocking you. I would never...
Eviana enters stage right, bringing a box of craft items that she places on the coffee table. She kneels on the floor beside it and works on an art project.
Listen, I'm really sorry to cut you off, but I think I just heard Jim's car pulling in and I need to put his dinner on the table. I did start early, but the phone rang, and I promise I will feed my husband just as soon as I hang up the phone. Not as perfectly as you, of course, no matter how hard I try.
Mother exits to the family room, wiping her hands on her apron.
Oh, Eviana, I didn't hear you come downstairs. Did you finish your homework?
Yes, Mommy, all done.
Even math?
Yes. Oh, but you need to quiz me on my spelling words.
Did you mean, will you please quiz me on my spelling words?
That's what I said.
Eviana continues to color, putting the finishing touches on her project.
What's all this? What are you doing here? Making another mess for me to have to clean up?
No, Mommy, I'm making a present for you. Oh, and I wrote a poem.
You wrote a poem? All by yourself?
And I drew this heart too. See? That's called an illustration.
That's right, honey. A drawing that goes along with something you've written is called an illustration. Can I see it, please?
Wait, I have to read the poem I wrote for you first. Roses are red, violets are blue, sugar is sweet, and so are you, by Eviana Todd.
Thank you, sweetheart. That was lovely. It's always been one of my favorite poems.
But how can it always be your favorite poem? I just wrote it.
No, honey, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I just now wrote it.
You did just write it on the paper, and your printing is very neat. I like your illustration too, but you didn't come up with that poem all on your own.
Eviana crosses her fingers behind her back.
I did too. You don't know that. And anyway, I did write the "and so are you" part. That wasn't in the poem that you know. It's not because I just now made it up.
Eviana, you didn't make up any part of that poem. It's been around since before I was born. We've talked about this before, young lady. You know how I feel about lying.
I'm not lying. I wrote a poem and I drew an illustration. But if you don't want it, then you can't have it.
Eviana rips the paper in two.
I didn't mean it anyway. You're not sweet like sugar. You're mean.
Eviana, now don't be like that. Let's sit down and talk about this. At least help me clean up all this junk. You know how much I hate messes.
Eviana pushes past Mother to exit to kitchen.
Eviana, come back. I'm sorry, honey. Stay here and talk to me. Please don't go.
Mother picks up the torn pieces of paper and places them in her pocket. Lights fade. End of scene 1. Circles, scene 2. Setting. The same living room 10 years later. At Rise, Eviana enters from the kitchen talking on a cordless phone.
I was like, oh my God. I'm not even kidding. Cagney with a soup ladle. That's what I said, but you know the parentals, especially the female one. If something doesn't fit into her neat little box, then it isn't allowed to flourish. Oh, it gets worse. Now I even have to live at home. I know, right? And community college sucks. How am I supposed to grow as an artist there? I have all this untapped youthful angst that's just waiting to be explored, and now... Angst? A-N-G-S-T? What's your damage?
Mother enters from the kitchen.
I have to go. It's home.
Eviana sets the phone on the coffee table and concentrates on writing in her notebook.
Hi, Evie. I didn't know you were home. I almost didn't see you there. You should turn on a light or you'll ruin your eyes.
Eviana continues to write.
My name is Eviana, Jane. You and Jim can call me Eviana.
I'm aware, Eviana, since I'm the one who named you. And I suppose your sarcasm is better than the silent treatment, but you're upset with me, not your father. Show some respect.
Respect is earned, not guaranteed. And I'm pretty sure Dad named me, but whatever, I'm busy.
Eviana moves to the writing desk.
Busy? Doing what? Writing another one of your poems? I hope this one doesn't get you expelled from community college. The tuition that we paid at the university wasn't refundable, you know.
That was not my fault. The university had no vision, and I didn't get expelled. I got expelled from high school when I put my poem in the school paper. I did try to find something else that rhymed with Nantucket.
For God's sake, Evie, you know I still can't go to my own class reunion because of that debacle. You never even thought about me, did you? You only thought about what was important to you, what matters to Evie.
Right, because it's all about you. And it's Eviana, by the way. It's my name. It's my brand.
What's that supposed to mean? What's a brand?
Not a brand. It's my brand. Eviana. It's me, my style, my creativity. You know, brand. It's who I am. It's my art.
What art? You mean those vile things you call poems? Your father and I have tried to tell you.
At least Dad reads them without being snarky. We can even dialogue, but you won't even try. You won't discuss my poetry with any civility. Well, you can listen as well as you hear, you know. That's good. I should write that one down.
Huh. Someone beat you to it. Again. Say it loud, say it clear. You can listen as well as you hear. Mike and the Mechanics. I just heard it on the radio. Catchy tune.
God, you never give me credit for anything. I'm a poet, even if you don't want to admit it. A Blade Through Putrid Flesh was already published, and My Barren Heart Drips Black will be out next month.
You published that crap yourself through that underground rag you created. Doesn't count if no one actually reads your book.
Right, like you would ever read a book of my poems, let alone buy one. Way to be supportive, Jane.
Eviana!
Correct! Congrats! Now leave me alone so I can work on this.
All right, I'm willing to listen to dialogue. Why don't you read me something you've written then? Something that doesn't involve weapons or body parts or demons from hell.
Eviana slams her notebook.
I can't wait until my next book sells out at the coffee shop. Then I can move out of here and I won't have to listen to your crap anymore.
Evie! Eviana! Please don't be that way. Please don't go.
Mother reads a page and shakes her head. Dad enters from the kitchen.
Trouble in paradise?
Don't you start.
I'm sorry. I know things have been pretty contentious between you two lately.
Only for the last 19 years. Well, 18. The first 12 months were pretty blissful.
I just meant that I know things haven't been, well, easy since Eviana moved back home. And I understand that this is your house and you want things the way you want them. But Eviana was out on her own and is used to some independence.
What are you saying? That I'm controlling? You always take her side. Just for once, I could use a little backup here, Jim.
I'm not taking anyone's side. I'm just trying to smooth things over between you two. When it's clearly none of my business.
He picks up the pages that Eviana has left there.
Well, her poetry is certainly colorful.
It's disgusting. Honestly, I don't know why you encourage her.
Well, maybe sometimes a cucumber is just a cucumber.
What? I didn't see that one.
Good.
Dad tucks that poem away under the others.
Seriously, I don't know why we're even paying for a college education. She needs to take classes where she can support herself when she graduates. Creative writing and modern poetry won't do her any good in the real world.
They're all part of a well-rounded education for any profession. I mean, she's taking calculus and chemistry, but she probably won't need them at all.
Well, then maybe we should pull her out of school and all of her classes are worthless. Or have her take secretarial courses, something that she can actually use in the future.
I'm not saying a college education is useless. I mean, I took a lot of classes I didn't need to graduate.
I see your point. I'm willing to give her another year to find herself before we make a decision. I need a minute to walk off some of this tension.
Mother exits as Eviana enters opposite.
Hey, kiddo, how's things?
They suck. Thanks for asking.
Eviana flops down on the sofa next to Dad.
Mother is really on my case. It's not fair.
On your case about what? About helping around the house like you promised? Like picking up after yourself?
Dad hands the pages of poetry to Eviana.
Oh, sorry. I got mad. She's just so hypercritical of everything I do.
Your mother has high expectations for you. Maybe she's a little more critical than you'd like, but do you think you might be just a little oversensitive? Just think about it.
Fine. I'll think about it. upstairs.
Aviana takes the poetry pages from Dad and quickly exits as Mother enters from the kitchen.
Was that Evie? She's mad at me, you know. Again.
She came down to pick up the poems she left out.
Of course. She cleans for you. She won't do anything for me.
Just a suggestion? Maybe you could, I don't know, ask her to do things rather than telling her? I mean, she's been sort of used to making her own choices. She may need to ease back into your routine. But I'm sure you two can reach some sort of compromise.
Why should I have to compromise? This is my house.
Oh, I know. I just meant that as long as we all have to live under the same roof.
You cuddle her.
Maybe, but I can't help it.
He rises to leave, kissing Mother softly on the cheek as he begins to exit to kitchen.
Sometimes she just reminds me so much of you.
Dad exits while Mother stands, mouth open, speechless. Lights fade, end of scene 2.